As the wind howls outside your window and frost creeps slowly up the glass, settle in for 3 chilling tales that freeze the blood and make even the bravest souls shudder beneath their blankets. These stories thrive in the bleak midwinter, where darkness stretches long and deep, and the world feels just a little less safe. Welcome to Sinister Smiles, where icy nights breed the coldest horrors of all. Tonight the snow falls heavy, muffling the world in eerie silence. The first tale begins in a remote cabin, buried deep in the woods, where isolation offers no comfort and the only warmth is found in secrets and dread. The first story, The Whispering Frost. In the farthest reaches of the northern forest, an old trapper named Anton lived alone in a weathered cabin. Each winter he braved the bitter cold, living off the land and keeping to himself. Some said he was running from something. Others believed he simply preferred solitude. But Anton knew better. He was hiding from the frost. It wasn't just the cold that haunted him. It was the voices. The first winter he spent alone, he heard them only at night, faint whispers carried on the wind. They called his name, promising warmth, promising rest. Anton dismissed them as dreams or madness. But the second winter, the whispers grew bolder. They slipped through the cracks in the logs, curling around him as he slept, chilling his bones. One night, the temperature dropped to record lows. Anton stoked his fire, but the flame seemed reluctant to burn, flickering weakly. The wind picked up, howling louder than ever before, and with it, the whispers grew sharper, more urgent. They pleaded with Anton to open the door, to let them in. "We have warmth for you, Anton. Just open the door. Come into the snow." Fear gripped him. He stuffed blankets against the door and windows, desperate to keep the voices out, but the frost crept in anyway, crawling under the floorboards, seeping into his skin. He saw shapes moving outside, figures made of ice and snow, their eyes dark hollows, their mouths twisted in frozen smiles. As dawn approached, Anton grew weak. His fire had died, his limbs numb and heavy. The whispers no longer pleaded, they demanded. "Open the door, Anton. Open the door." With trembling hands he reached for the latch, unable to resist the compulsion. The moment the door swung open, the frost rushed in, swirling around him, filling his mouth and lungs. When spring came, the villagers found Anton's cabin empty, the door standing wide. Inside, every surface was covered in a thick layer of frost, and etched into the icy walls were hundreds of faces, mouths open in silent screams. The villagers sealed the cabin and whispered about the frost that whispers, warning travelers never to ignore the voices in the winter wind. Now, as you listen, wonder, when the wind rattles your window, what does it whisper to you? The second story, The Snowman's Eyes. On the edge of a small town, a group of children built a snowman beneath the pale winter sun. They pressed coal for eyes, a crooked carrot for a nose, and sticks for arms. But one boy, Ethan, found something strange while digging in the snow. A small round stone, smooth and cold as ice. He decided to use it for the snowman's third eye, placing it in the center of its forehead. The other children laughed, calling it the watchful snowman. But as dusk fell and the children left, Ethan lingered, staring into the snowman's stone eye. It seemed to shimmer, reflecting the growing shadows. That night, Ethan dreamed of the snowman standing at his window, its coal eyes glowing red, its stone eye pulsing with a blue light. It beckoned to him, whispering in a voice like crunching snow. "Come outside, Ethan. Come play with me." Waking in a cold sweat, Ethan rushed to the window, but the snowman was still in the yard, silent and unmoving. Yet every morning it seemed a little closer to the house, its features sharper, its stone eye glinting with unnatural light. Ethan's parents noticed footprints in the snow, large and deep, circling the house. They blamed stray animals, but Ethan knew better. One night, the snowman appeared in Ethan's room, melting snow pooling on the floor, its stick arms reaching out. "You made me, Ethan. Now play with me." Ethan screamed, but his voice was swallowed by the cold. The snowman's stone eye flashed, and Ethan felt himself growing numb, his heartbeat slowing. In the morning, Ethan's bed was empty, the sheets soaked. His parents searched everywhere, but found only a trail of wet footprints leading out into the yard, ending at the snowman. Where its stone eye had been, there was now a hollow cavity, and a small frozen handprint pressed into its chest. Legend says that every winter, when children build snowmen, one might contain a single stone eye, glinting in the moonlight. And if you see it, don't meet its gaze, for the snowman is always searching for a new friend to play with, forever. The third story, The Midnight Sled. On the outskirts of a frozen village, a hill rose steep and silent, untouched by sunlight, even on the brightest winter day. Locals called it Dead Man's Slope, and warned their children never to sled there after midnight. But curiosity is a powerful thing, and three friends, Mira, Uka, and Sasha, decided to tempt fate. They waited until the stroke of midnight, bundled in coats and scarves, their breath freezing in the night air. The moon was hidden behind thick clouds, and the slope glistened with untouched snow. As they climbed, a strange hush fell over the world. No wind, no distant cries, only their footsteps crunching on the ice. At the top of the hill, they found an old sled, unlike any they'd seen before. It was carved from black wood, its runners sharp as knives, and its surface cold as steel. Sasha touched it and shivered, his fingers aching from the cold. Mira laughed, brushing off the unease, and climbed on, followed by her friends. The moment they pushed off, the sled rocketed down the slope, faster than any of them expected. The world blurred, the wind screaming past their ears, yet the snow felt wrong, too soft, too silent. Shadows flickered on either side, shapes moving just out of sight, reaching for them with twisted arms. Suddenly the sled veered off course, plunging into a thicket of dead trees. The friends tried to leap off, but found themselves stuck, limbs numb and heavy. The trees loomed closer, their branches sharp and skeletal, scratching at their faces. The sled stopped abruptly, throwing them into the snow. Dazed, Mira looked up and saw figures standing in the shadows, pale, frozen bodies, eyes hollow and black, mouths twisted in silent agony. Luca tried to run, but the snow held him fast, pulling him down with icy fingers. Sasha screamed as something dragged him into the darkness, his voice muffled by the snow. Mira was left alone, shivering and terrified. The figures circled her, whispering in voices like breaking icicles. "Ride with us, Mira. Ride forever." She closed her eyes, praying for dawn. When morning broke, the hill was empty, the sled was gone, and the snow was marked by 3 sets of footprints, ending abruptly at the edge of the trees. Locals whispered that Dead Man's Slope was cursed, haunted by the souls of those who tempted the midnight hour. But sometimes, on the coldest nights, villagers hear laughter and screams echoing from the hill, and they see the black sled racing down the slope, carrying shadowy passengers who will never leave the snow behind. 3 winter horrors for your cold night's sleep: the whispering frost, the snowman's eyes, and the midnight sled. Each tale a chill that creeps beneath your covers, a shadow that moves beyond the window, a whisper in the silent night. So when you lie in bed tonight, listening to the wind and the settling snow, remember, winter's darkness is deep, and its secrets are colder than ice. Sleep well if you dare,